Today, our champion, Scott Rondelli of Billerica, Massachusetts, faces the challenge of Dan Gallant of Gardner, Massachusetts, on Candlepin Bowling. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to Candlepin Bowling. I'm Don Gillis. Glad you could join us here at the Fairway in Natick, Massachusetts for 3 strings of Candlepin Bowling. Total pinfall determining our winner. Each will take home a permanent souvenir from the Ace Trophy Company of Boston. And in addition to that, we have guaranteed prize money of $1,200, $700 to the winner, $350 to the runner-up, $50 available to the winner of each string. Lots of other opportunities for our bowlers to make some money as the program continues. You know about it, most of you, but I'll remind you as we go along. Some gift certificates. One, a $50 gift certificate which must be earned. That is to the marksman of the day, the bowler with the most marks, and it comes from True Value hardware stores and home centers. There are 4 $50 gift certificates for men's clothing from Eastern Clothing Company of Watertown to the winner of each string and to the runner-up. All right, enough of that. We have a match for you today, and let's talk to those bowlers, shall we? Hi, Danny. Good to see you again.
Nice to be here.
Now, most people know, but I shall remind people that you were the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Bowler of the Year this year.
Yes, they were. They had a great year, matter of fact. Let's hope I can just continue right here on this show.
And the man standing next to you is the co-holder of the highest single 210 ever rolled on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress, Scott Rondelli. So it should be a beauty. And one other thing, the audience here has already asked, and I've told them, but I'm sure folks out there want to know if you're related to Al Gallant.
No, I'm not. No shape, form, or matter.
But you're both fine bowlers, and he was on our first championship show, which reminds me, just today and next week, the challenge for that thing. You know, of course, that it's going to be a week from today in the evening, 6:30, the show, and then we're going to have a program today where somebody can qualify, and also one next Saturday. That's not on your mind at all, is it, Scott?
It's on my mind. Hopefully I can do something.
Hey, listen, it should be a great match. You're 2 of the finest young Candlepin bowlers around, and we're looking forward to a good one. We'll be right back, right after this. His challenger, Dan Gallant. Dan has a league average of 125. He has a high single of 199 and a high triple of 503. Danny had a 691 in winning his roll-off. And he begins with a 10. Is he going to get almost a backdoor strike? He is left with the head pin. Ralph Stewart calls time, wants to take a check on a piece of wood to see. And it is going to, is it going to roll off, or is it going to, it's going toward the back. He has the head pin to pick up for a spare. And he's waiting for wood to settle down. All over it. And he begins with a 10 and a spare. Now Scott Rondelli. League average 123. High single 210. High triple 479. And a roll-off score of 681. The 3 and the 7. Wood just to the left of the 3 and wood in front. Another piece in the back. Piece in the back still rolling around, and that's what he's waiting for right now. And he begins with a spare. answers that with a strike. The way to start, isn't it, when you have bowlers of this caliber? Dan Gallant working on a spare in the second. Six is the fill, and an unusual combination of pins still standing. It goes 3, 5, 7, and 8. What a shot! Oh, baby! 3, 5, 7, and 8. What a beauty! Oh, is that worth another look? I love it. That's the letdown right there as he comes up with a half Worcester on the right side and punches out the 3 and 9. And, of course, that's missing by maybe an inch or an inch and a half. And you're getting down there and you're 60 feet away. How many baseball pitchers are able to put it within an inch or two of where they're hoping that they can? Of course, we don't allow any overhand here. Nice shot for the 10. Let's see what Scott Rondelli can do. He has 2 marks up on the board. The second is a strike, so he has 2 bonus balls to roll. Here's the first. 4 horsemen right side, and the 7 pin are the 5 pins still standing. The fill is 7 as he left the 1, 7, 10. And 8. All right, first check on the scoreboard as we do. We'll be coming up in the 4th box. We have a home viewer of $400 and a high-low jackpot of $500, which I must remind you. Two pins, 4 and 7. An 8 box. After 4 boxes of the first string, our defending champion, Scott Rondelli, is leading challenger Dan Gallant 53-48. The line to roll in the 5th and 6th boxes of the first string. Pretty close to a hammer. He left 2 over on the right-hand side, the 6 and the 10, but it was an explosive ball. Waiting for some wood to settle down. Now he's ready and going for the spare, and he has it. Three spares in his first 5 boxes. So close to a strike again. That explosive first ball, leaving just 1, the 6 pin. Dan is representing Bryant's Bowlaway in Gardner, Massachusetts, and the Palace Lanes in Pittsburgh. Again, waiting for wood to settle down. And he has it for the spare. Our defending champion, Scott Rondelli. One, 3, 6, 4, 7, no wood. And that's just the number 1. Three disappointing frames right now for Scott Rondelli. He began with spare and strike on it, and then has rolled in order an 8, an 8, and a 7. Three, 5, 6 is the triangle, and the 6 would not go down. That's what most of the people behind us were talking about when you could hear them. He gets the spare. 2 marks in a row for our challenger today, Dan Gallant. That one got away. Released it too soon. And got just 3. There are still 3 standing. So no bonus there. 3 marks in a row. Any combination of strikes or spares in the same string is worth $50 in bonus money. And after establishing that bonus, each consecutive mark in that same string is worth $50 apiece. As long as he can keep it going. The big one, of course, an extra $1,000 for 3 strikes in a row. That time he hit the head pin, however, too full. Now he's chopping some wood. There are still 6 pins standing. It's a 7 box. So what happened to Scott Rondelli has just happened to Dan Gallant. After some marks, an 8, 8, 7 for Rondelli, then a spare, and he gets a thin hit on his spare. Just 2. Got all but the 10 pin. A 10. You wouldn't want necessarily to be facing this for a needed spare with a 7, 8, 10 across the back, the 5 pin, the object pin, wood alongside the 8, wood in front of and in back of the 5 pin, and wood in front of the 10 pin. It's the wood, the object pin, of course, the 5, and he's got one that's perpendicular to it. He managed to get all but the 10 pin. That's the piece of wood that he's waiting to have settle down. A 10. All right, just 3 pins separating our bowlers. Dan stumbled as he hit the footfoul line, stopping. 4 pieces of wood and 2 standing pins. 3 and 7. Made it. Good, good spare. Now the bonus, and again he missed the head pin. He did manage to get 5 this time and leave 4 horsemen left side, and then in the opposite corner, the 10. For another spare? Yes. That was a picture-perfect spare made on that particular lead. He had the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 10. And as he split by going into the 1-2 pocket, he was able to go over and get the 10 while taking out the 4 horsemen left side. Six more. A 126. And right now, his league average is 125. So he rolled 1 pin better than his average in the first string. Scott Rondelli. Scott started fast with a spare and a strike, but he's been doing some struggling since then. Got a break as he missed it with the original pin that he had hoped was going to go over and get the standing pin. Another came bouncing across and got it. Wee bit too full. He's got 2, 4, 6, and 10, and he's got a piece of wood in between. Obviously, he wants to take out the 2, 4, and in doing that, have the 2 pin kick into that piece of wood and carry it over to get the 6 and 10. See if he can do it. Nope. It turns out to be an 8 box, and he comes up 10 pins short. So the score at the end of 1 is our challenger, Dan Gallant, leading our defending champion, Scott Rondelli, 126 to 116. This middle string with a pair of 10s for a total of 20. Now our challenger, Dan Gallant. One pin still standing. It's the 3 pin. Spare in the first. In case you just joined us, this is Dan Gallant, who is the current 1989 World Candlepin Bowling Congress Male Pro Bowler of the Year at Candlepin Bowling. And he is a challenger today. He is challenging Scott Rondelli, who holds the all-time WCBC Pro Tour high single game of 210, along with Charlie Milan of Brewer, Maine. Quite a matchup. The 2, the 4, and the 7. Wood in front of it is what he's looking at, but it's the wood behind that won't stay still that's holding things up right now. For another? Nope. Got the 2 and the 4, but the 7 didn't go. And over a long period of time, we've seen that happen, where a piece of wood is across, say, the 2 and 4. And unless it is hit correctly, you will do just that and sweep out those 2 pins without getting the corner pin. Scott Rondelli. 4 horsemen right side, and inside is the 8 pin. That is inside as opposed to where he'd like it to be, over in the corner of the 7, if he's going to have a pin to work on over there. Oh, got a break. It appeared that he was going to have to pay the penalty for it being the 8 pin instead of the 7, but the sidewall action allowed one of the pins to bounce in and knock down the 8. Bonus. All right, now he's got the configuration which would be more desirable in the sense that he has the 7 pin as opposed to the 8 against the 4 horsemen on the right side. 2 pieces of wood in there also. After talking about that and having the 2 pieces of wood in there, look what happens. The 4 horsemen go and the 7 pin doesn't. Ralph Stewart, our lob line judge and referee, gets a hand. It's a 9. Now Dan Gallant comes up. Bruce Goldman keeping score on the electronic scoreboard, filling in for the vacationing Al Giglio. And Dan Gallant has 3 pins standing, the 1 and the 3, 6. There's Ralph Stewart, our live line judge and referee, in his accustomed spot. And Dan misses another spare, just barely. Don Riley is our coordinator and statistician. A 10. Phil Rubin is our producer-director. Keith Williams is keeping score on the big scoreboard for the gallery here today. And our crew today is Skip Peabody, Roger Rice, Chris O'Hare, and Dick Erickson. All right, let's see what he can do with a diamond right. This is 3, 5, 6, and 9. Can he get it? Nope. Diamond wins again. A 9. Two more pins have been added to our challenger Dan Gallant's lead, as he's now picked up a pair here after 4 boxes of the middle string, leading at 46-44. He's our defending champion, rolling the 5th box of the middle string, which brings us to the halfway point in the match. Fine shot for a 10. Right at this moment, I would assume, as we're coming to the halfway point, that Jeff Atkins, who is the vulnerable one in the 5 who are hoping to be back here a week from tonight in our $20,000 True Value Championship, I'm sure that at the moment he has been sweating out this particular match between these 2 guys. Jeff at 426 is the low man. Each of these bowlers obviously capable of rolling better than 426. But here, as they're reaching the halfway point of the match, however, they are not doing it at that pace. One, 4, 7, 8 with Wood. He did not get number 1. Time called momentarily by Ralph Stewart, our referee, as he scoots down to get a loose ball. And gets a hand. They match 10s in the 5th box here at the halfway point. Dan Gallant faces 1, 2, 4, and 10 with wood in front of it. Got the 1, 2, 4, but was unable to move anything over to get the 10, despite the fact that he had a piece of wood in front of it. Dan made his first appearance on our show in 1985, and it was an unsuccessful challenge of Dan Murphy. And Dan, on that particular day, rolled a 414. Then when he came on again in February of '86, Dan defeated Peter Surratt and lost himself the next week to Dan Myrick. Scott Rondelli has a 10-pin to pick up. No, the 10-pin, not a 10-pin, lest you think that we have substituted a candlepin for a 10-pin. Did not get it. That hurt. And it also was most unusual. Double miss. He's rolling 9 pins less in this string, in which he rolled a 116 in the first, which is below his average, and he's rolling about 9 pins less than that right now. Can he make the spare? Yes. Dan Gallant began this middle string with a spare. Since then, he has been unable to add another mark. He has the 3 and 9, or basically, when they're all standing, if you punch this out, you've got a half Worcester right. But there's a piece of wood between them on an angle. And he makes it. All right, spare in the 7th. The bonus. 8 is the fill, and 10-pin rocked but would not go down, so he is left with the 4-pin on the left, the 10-pin on the right, and he has a couple of pieces of wood just to the right of the 4-pin. But are they in the right position so he can do it? Let's see. He concentrated so hard on getting a piece of wood to go over and get the 10, and just assumed, I presume, that he was going to get the 4-pin, and did not. So, right now, we have to see what Scott Rondelli will get as a fill on his spare in the 8th before we can tell you what it is through 8 of the middle string. Well, it's only going to be 4 as he comes 2 full on the head pin and winds up with a spread eagle. Just 1 pin taken down on the left-hand side. In completed boxes, it's a 23-pin lead in the match for our challenger, Dan Gallant. And he's in a position to pick up more as Scott has just rolled a 6-box. I've been talking a lot about the WBC Candlepin Pro Tour, of which these two are such a prominent part. It's going to begin its 18th season in September. Anybody interested in joining the Pro Tour can send for information by writing to WCBC, Post Office Box 545, Webster, Massachusetts. The zip is 01570. I think you know the men have to have an average of 112 or better, and the ladies an average of 102 or better to be on the tour to qualify for it. Disappointing 101 for Scott Rondelli. Now Dan Gallant. Dan has 4 horsemen left side and the 5-pin. Nope. Just the head pin out of there. A 7-box. But fortunately for him, he was opposite a 6-box by Scott Rondelli, or perhaps I should say fortunately for Scott Rondelli, who rolled the 6-box, his challenger rolled just a 7. Almost a hammer. One to go. There it is, the 5-pin with wood in front of it, the kingpin. All right, he's got the spare in the 10th. $111 plus. $119. So neither bowler able to hit his average in the middle string. The score at the end of 2, with a 28-pin lead for challenger Dan Gallant, is Gallant 245 and Rondelli 270. Leading by 28 pins is leading off the 3rd string. Way off to the right, he was unhappy with that and had a big frown on his face and said, "Come on." Four and 7 on the left for a 10. He gets the 10. One, 2, and 10. That's what he's looking at. Did not get the head pin. Got the 2 and the 10. Next week's challenger, making his first appearance, will be Wayne Denon of Melrose, Massachusetts. And that will be the final opportunity for someone to qualify for our True Value Championship show, which will be 1 week from this evening. Wow! He hit the head pin and got the head pin and the 8-pin. Now one more. So he is faced with 7 pins standing, 5 of them over on the right-hand side. It's an 8. The True Value Championship show, $20,000 in prize money, a $10,000 first prize, 6:30 until 8 next Saturday evening, August the 26th. And yes, we will have a noontime show next week, and that will be the last opportunity for someone to qualify by knocking off Jeff Atkins. Jeff being our vulnerable one, low man on the totem pole. Spare by Rondelli. Because it certainly does not appear that either one of these bowlers today is going to do that. Dan Gallant began with a pair of 10s. He is now given an excellent opportunity for his first spare. In the 3rd string, that is. He does not pass up that opportunity. 5 is the fill, leaving the 4 horsemen left, the 10 pin on the right, no wood. Oh, a beauty. Once again, an absolute textbook description of how to make the 4 horsemen left and the 10 pin right. Just beautifully done. Scott Rondelli working on a spare. Eight is the fill, and he has an excellent opportunity to convert another. The 6 and the 9 with wood in between. He does not waste that opportunity. Not too much bonus money so far, and all of it belonging to Dan Gallant. Oh, what a disappointing leave. He got 6 for the fill, but he's got the 4 pin, wood behind it, and then 8, 9, and 10. Made it! Boy, that's worth $50 in bonus money anytime. Great shot by Scott Rondelli, just great. Now let's see whether Dan Gallant can pick up $50 more in bonus money. He does! He does! Both of them are hot right now, and this is, of course, what we were hoping for with the skills that they possess. Fortunately, he has 2 bonus balls to throw. So despite the fact that that was a very disappointing punch-out on the right-hand side of 2 pins, he winds up with 7. The bonus streak stops right there, at least for the moment, at $50 with 3 marks in a row. The 1, the 4, and the 7. A 9. All right, let's see if the Scott Rondelli can keep it going. He's picked up his first bonus money. In his 3 previous weeks, he's had 150 and 200 and 200. He got a great chance. He has just blown away 9 pins and has left just the 7. Ralph Stewart has gone down to check to see whether it is behind the deadwood line, and unfortunately for Scott, it is, because it looks from here as though it might be a roadblock. Let's see what he can do with it. It was obviously one both mental and actual. He was just not able to get at that 7 pin. So his bonus streak stops there, and it is a 9. Too bad. He let that go too soon, and as a result, it dropped to the left side, not where he wanted to go. He still has 4, 7, and 10. Nine versus 9. But the important thing is over on the right-hand column, after 6 boxes of the 3rd string, it is a 30-pin deficit for our defending champion. That's why the minus sign is there, but in actuality, what it means as far as the match is concerned is this man, Dan Gallant, leads by 30. One, 2, 9, and 10 with a piece of wood in back of the 2 pin. Only the 2 and the piece of wood out of there. A 7. Spare leave. 4 and 7. I think maybe if he had that to do over again, he might have treated it differently. There were 2 pieces of wood overlapping to the right, and he chose to try to make a sweeping motion towards it instead of going right after it, which he just did now and made a 10. Scott Rondelli down to 4 boxes and trailing by 30 pins. He's opposite 17 pins by his challenger. So he sure would like to pick up something here. Is he going to get a strike? No, actually the felled wood is what supported the 3 pin, so it is still standing with wood on each side of it. All right, Scott has a spare opposite a 7, so he has picked up 3 pins already, and then we'll see what he gets on the next ball. Oh, the 2-pin rocking back, still rocking, but not going to go. So he picked up 12 pins there. And he got a lucky break as he missed a single pin. However, the wood came back and knocked it over. So don't go away. The lead has been cut to 18, and he has a spare opposite a 10. Dan Gallant answers that challenge with a strike. Boy, is that clutch bowling. First bonus ball. Gets him 5. All right, we've seen him do this twice, which is the 4 horsemen left and the 10 pin with no wood. Nope, this time he went too far to the left. 7 was his fill, and now he's got the 1, 2, and 10, and he gets them all. So he winds up with his average, which is 125. Now, Scott Rondelli with 2 marks in a row. He has 2 boxes to go. He's working on a spare right now. Let's see what he gets on it. He gets how many? He gets 8. However, the 2 pins standing are the 7 and the 10. He has 2 pieces of wood over near the 10. 1 was near the 7. It's rolling out toward the middle a little bit now. He's got to wait to see where these settle down. He has to overcome an 18-pin deficit. Here he goes. He made it. A clutch spare. And another $50 in bonus money for Scott Rondelli. Oh, that really hurt. That really, really hurt. 2 pins with a half Worcester left. No. Hey, so Dan Gallant is our new champion. Neither of these outstanding young Candlepin bowlers was able to bump Jeff Atkins out of next week's championship. So the 5 still are Tom Oster, Steve Reno, Det Klein, Jim Kelly, and Jeff Atkins in that order. And today, Dan Gallant will have one more crack at it against Wayne Denon next week, as he won today 370 to 353. Both bowlers combined. Obviously, we give 10 either side. If I'm able to pull out a card that is within that range, that person wins the $400. However, even if it's nowhere near that, that person will be rewarded with these prizes.
Zebco's classic ultralight rod and reel will go with you anywhere. The rod telescopes to only 1 foot and is matched with a quality little Zebco spin cast reel. And shooters double up with the protection and performance of Ray-Ban shooter sunglasses. Full glare and ultraviolet protection, plus contrast improvement for quick target pickup. That's Ray-Ban shooter sunglasses by Bosch & Lomb. And Solder Seal Gunk heavy-duty puncture seal provides security in a can. Seals and inflates all types of tires in seconds while on the car. Keep a can of Solder Seal Gunk puncture seal in your trunk.
Let's see whether we have a $400 winner here. $723 is the number we're looking for. 10 either side of that. This is from Bernie Vanass of Webster, Massachusetts, and it's $762 is the guess. So next week another $50 is added. $500 down here, Dan, if you can knock down those 3 pins. How about that? Ooh, boy, it was a lot. Okay, Scott, supposing that had gone. Ralph Stewart just breathed a sigh of relief. Got 2 of them. Okay, Scotty, stay here, please. And right behind him, please, Dan. Well, listen, you had a nice long run, but you weren't able to put it together for this last one. Let's see how much have I got for you. Somewhere in here, I've got some money for you. $150 in bonus money, $350. 2 of these certificates for $50 for men's clothing. It was nice to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Okay, and now, Danny, you pick up 2 of these $50 gift certificates from Eastern Clothing Company. You also get a $50 gift certificate for being our top marksman, and you get $150 bonus money plus $700 and a chance next week to get in the big one, okay?
See what I can do.
Okay, we'll be here to watch. You will too, won't you? Bye-bye, everybody.